Hi guys, welcome back to Little-Homestead. My name is Emily, and today I will be taking you through a couple recipes and some cleaning that I'm going to be doing for the day. And, well, I'm just really excited to show you because I made bread. I have now sort of changed the way I make bread in the way that I just double it completely because the loaf is too small, and chili and cornbread. So I started my day off by making my bread. I use this instant yeast packet. So it's going to be one of those packets and 7 ounces of warm water. And on the back of the packet, it tells you around what temperature that water should be. And then you're going to stir that to dissolve that. And this kind of yeast is called an instant yeast for sort of a reason. You don't have to wait to let yeast sit or anything. You just go right on into making whatever you're going to make. So you want to stir that around until mainly all the clumps are gone. Then you're going to add the flour, and this one is going to be 2 cups of flour. And I used a half cup, that's why it looks like I'm taking more than 2 cups. I think my 1 cup measuring cup was dirty in the sink at this point. And then salt, and this recipe is 1 teaspoon of salt. So that went in. And then I don't like to use a bread maker, and I can't find my dough hooking my mixer right now. So I've been doing all of my kneading and bread making by hand, which doesn't bother me really that much. I enjoy making it, so it's sort of therapeutic. And then after it's sort of combined, you sprinkle flour on the counter and plop that down. My trick is to spray Pam spray on my hands before I even touch the dough, because that will keep my bread from sticking all over. And then once it sort of gets worked into the flour, it doesn't stick anymore, but that Pam spray helps me out. Huge trick. So you're going to need this for about 6 to 8 minutes. This kneading process feels like it's going to take forever, but it is so worth it in the end, because this is the process that builds the gluten in the bread and it builds the structure. And you want to have that right structure, otherwise it's just not the same. And you're going to wish you took the time and did the kneading. Again, this would be a lot easier in a mixing bowl, but this is how I gotta do it right now. And then you're going to put it in a bowl. I spray the bowl with Pam and roll the ball of dough in it. And then I cover it with a dish towel or whatever you have that can cover it. And I sit it in a warm place to help it rise. This happens to be my plant room because it's the warmest place in the house. And that'll take about 20 to 40 minutes. And then the second rise after you shape it will be in the pan that you're going to bake in. So I spray that with Pam spray because you're going to have it sprayed before you bake it. So you might as well just have it sprayed now. Plus it helps the dough not to stick while it rises. So again, you're going to put some flour on the counter. And then dump your dough out. So that has basically doubled in size. And then you are gonna deflate it. You're gonna push all of the air out going to roll it out. Ideally, I actually shouldn't have made it a circle because that's going to make the loaf too long in one direction. But you want to do it more in a long oval shape. That way you get the correct shape. Totally forgot about it. I have made bread before, guys. It's just this. It was in my head a little bit with quarantine, that's all. We'll blame it on that. And then you're going to roll it up pretty tight because you want to make sure you get the swirl. It's going to help the texture. And then you're going to want to seal it, and adding a little bit of water, so doing here, will help. It helps it stick together and actually seal. Then you're going to put it sealed side down into the pan. As you can see, the length is a little bit wrong. That's okay though. Still tastes good. And then again, you're going to cover that with that dish towel and let it rise again for another 20 to 40 minutes. And in that time, I decided to get the kitchen a little bit cleaned up because I had to make some more recipes for the day and I needed some of the stuff I just made dirty. So I went through and I'm just going to do a cleanup. So anyway, while I'm doing this, how are y'all's quarantine going? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you have any recipes you found out that you liked, any new hobbies you're picking up, or just in general how you guys are doing. Because like I said, me and my husband still have to work. We have essential jobs, so our routine hasn't really changed that much. But I know a lot of you guys do have to stay at home. And so what are you doing to fill that time? What are you doing to sort of cope with what's going on right now? And then the stove got so bad. So it's definitely time to give it a good scrubbing, scraping, and cleaning. This blade was giving me trouble again this day. I just think I need to get a new blade. It drives me insane. Stop, fix it, stop, fix it. Ugh. Annoying. This is what I had for lunch today. A pizza sandwich, apple slices, pistachios, and Oikos Triple Zero yogurt. So good. Oh. And then I decided to make cornmeal. These are the amounts and ingredients. As you can see, the buttermilk is over the milk. I just add a little vinegar to it and let it sit to curdle and become buttermilk. So I started off with the flour, and then I did the cornmeal, and then I added the salt. So basically, I'm gonna just be adding all the dry ingredients to this bowl. Not too complicated. This was a new recipe I found on Pinterest, so I will be linking that below. It was really good. I also added some shredded cheddar cheese. That was not in the recipe, but I mean, oh, camera shook. Jeez, did not see that was in there. Anyway, so cornbread is sort of like a blank canvas. You can add a lot of different stuff to it. Oh, that was the melted butter and the vegetable oil that went in, and now the honey. So basically add all your liquids, except for your buttermilk. And then I added okay, so I did add the granulated sugar to that. So not quite all the dry ingredients together. All of them besides the sugar. And you're going to sort of stir this up a little bit. And then that was the buttermilk that was sitting that I made, the milk and the splash of vinegar. So you add the eggs to that. And then you're going to whisk that up till that is fully blended. Then you're going to add the other wet mixture to that. And mix that on up. And then you're going to add the dry to the wet. And the recipe I'm doing, I'm baking it in an 8x8 glass pan. So this one, there's 2 ways to do it, and this one calls for 1 teaspoon of baking powder. If you're going to be baking it like in a cast iron pan, it says to do like 2 teaspoons of baking powder. It's a little bit different. Oh, and then I added the shredded cheese to this. Shredded cheddar cheese to the mixture, and I just mix that around. And then always make sure to spray the pan. I did, so we're good. It came out very nice. And then you want to just dump your mixture on in there. And this took like way longer than the cooking time. I don't know if I flubbed up somewhere, but I mean, it turned out really delicious. It just took a long time to bake. So I put that in the oven. And while that was baking, I started on the chili. So I cut up some onion to get in the pan. I did 1 medium yellow onion, and I diced it up. Always make sure you're using the claw when you are cutting. That's going to help you or prevent you from cutting off your finger or fingernail. Because that's not a good thing. And then I put olive oil in the pan. I think this was actually avocado oil. We flip back and forth, and it's whatever's in the squeeze bottle at the time that we use. And then I add the onion into the pan. And then I can't remember if I used 90-10. Maybe it'll tell me. I don't think so. But if it wasn't 90-10, it was 80-20. But it was whatever I pulled out of the freezer. I didn't pay too much attention, I don't think, to it. The recipe does call for 90% lean ground beef. It calls for 1 pound. I know there's more than 1 pound in this chunk, but we're a fan of a lot of meat, and I'm not using only 1 pound to have some left. So it's all going in there. And then I added all the spices, which was chili powder, and this is not in the right order that it's on the screen. The chili powder, cumin, a little bit of sugar, garlic powder, salt, ground black pepper, and I don't think we had the cayenne pepper to put in this. And I really didn't, it says measurements, I didn't really measure. I used the cap as measurement. I just dumped it in there and dumped it back in the pot. All the spices tasted good together. And then I added the tomato paste, and that would have been 2 tablespoons of that. And then I added a can of kidney beans and 2 cans of tomato sauce. The recipe also called to add 1 1/2 cups of beef broth. Well, my chili would have been way too runny for me. I like a thick chili. There it is all together. So I didn't add the beef broth. I just added a little beef bouillon. And then I threw in this clip of my beautiful cat Jax watching TV. I have the channel on of birds on YouTube for him. He loves this channel. And then here's another bunch of gorgeous flowers. The Wegmans in my area had the bouquets on sale for $1. So I got a total of 3 bouquets, and I dropped the one off at our neighbor's. But it was like the perfect time. I needed something springy in my house, and they are still going strong. They are so gorgeous. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button below and that like button if you like the video. Also, please be sure to comment any new recipes or anything else you would like to see in my videos. And thank you again so much for joining us. I will see you next time.